Good evening, dear teacher, dear colleagues. Tonight, we would like to share with you an overview of our literature review, in contrast and comparison to our research work until now. We have been working with many articles related with our investigation. However, tonight we have chosen some of them, the most relevant, in order to determine ideas and guides in order to address our project. But let's talk about our research project. So, our research project is named From Classroom to Screen, the use of digital tools for learning and language before and after the pandemic. We decided to focus our investigation in something current. We all know that pandemic has changed our lifestyle. It means the way we live, the way we work, the way we teach, and the way we learn. That's why we, as teachers, are concerned about the impact of this new modality in the educational process, specifically for a foreign language, right? So, for this project, we have chosen a particular group of students, right, between 15 and 19 years old from the Gimnasio Santo Domingo de la Juventud School. And our research problem is what has been the impact that virtually has generated in the overall skill of 10th and 11th grade of students of Gymnasium Santo Domingo de la Juventud. We have chosen this specifically population because our partner Carol work at this school and it is really amazing for us the opportunity to work with this group. Uh, in order to develop our project, we have taken into account the next categories. Our main categories are the oral skill, the virtual education modality, the pedagogy in foreign language, and learning strategies. Learning, not teaching, because for us as teachers, we know that we need to be more focused in the learning of our students than in our process of teaching. But what are we looking for? So, as a main objective, we are looking to discover the advantage and obstacles generated by the new virtual environments in order to develop strategies and techniques which improve the comfort of our students to express themselves in an oral way. For us, it is really important the emotional part of our students. We know that this environment, this context of virtuality, it doesn't let us to express in the usual way we used to do in a presential format. And also the motivation, there is a lack of motivation currently, and we need to be focused in strategies to avoid this. Also, we have some specific objectives like identify the influence of virtual and digital tools in the teaching and learning process of virtual education today, recognize the impact of virtual education development of oral skills in students, and evaluate the improvement and decrease of students' advance according to the strategies developed. So we would like to create some strategies according to the experience and information that we found and put them into practice in order to evaluate what is good and what has to be avoided in the learning education of our students in this virtual context.
Okay, good evening. Here we have our first article is developing the oral skill in online English courses framed by the community of inquiry. We choose this article because we found a great relationship with our research. We found also a common keywords such as online education, language teaching and learning, foreign and oral ability. So for the problems in this study, we can find an analysis of say COA framework for the development of the oral skill in an online language course. The community of inquiry framework is a social constructivist model of language processes in online and in blended environments. So for this purpose, the following research questions were proposed. First, what is the learner's perception of the COI? Types of presence in the online language course. Second, what is the connection between the social, cognitive, and teaching presence of the COI and the indicators of the oral skills? And finally, how do learners' oral skills develop at the end of the course? So for the methodology, in this study focused on the learners' perspective about the development of their oral skills in online English courses through the COI model. For that reason, the study adopted first a constructivist view, the second an interpretative perspective, and finally the embedded design. Also for the data yes, they applied in the qualitative approach a semi-structured interview and analyze survey. And also they use as a dependent variable oral ability and was measured through two oral examinators and the independent variable was a COI model. And for this analysis of the data, it was deductively done and statistically treated. For the results, first, there is a low level of involvement, both individually and collectively, which might prevent higher levels of cognitive presence. The second, the oral skills is basically promoted only by the teacher. And third, the teaching presence should be the first element to be considered when establishing a community. And the next findings present in this study revealed that it is the teaching presence itself that showed a connection with the grammar, accuracy, and vocabulary indicators of the oral skills. And final, the level of English of the students were very limited. Their participation in a forum discussions didn't occur or was poor and often supported by automatic translators, frequently inaccurate.
Okay, well, now we're going to continue with another article we found really interesting. That is teacher professional development and ICT strategies and models. But what is ICT? ICT is the informational communication technologies. So this article was worked by Calambres and Glass 2014 at the United States. And here we have an article that we can introduce by the thing that we know that ICT is increasing the access to the information, inspiring new developments in teaching, and allowing individuals and communities to interact anytime, anywhere. So, based on this, we have the next problems, the next research questions that can motivate this investigation. First of all, we have what technologies can be used to undertake the kinds of tasks that we teachers cannot easily perform, making room for teachers to focus on tasks that we do best. Then we have how technology made some professional development content obsolete and other content more important than ever, right? And finally, we have what professional development content should be relegated to machines instead of our humans. So we are here working in a topic that can help us to improve the abilities of the teacher in the classroom by delegating some tasks to automatic systems, right? But how was developed this job? Well, they based their investigation on a documentary review, literature review, and personal experience, something really similar of what we are doing today, right? The purpose of this job was to discuss the strategies and models of teacher professional development with emphasis of programs designed to prepare in service of teachers to integrate ICT into the classroom. So here the main concept that we have is informative communication technologies, the way how we can get to in touch to our students, to our communities in a virtual environment, right? So from this work, we have some results, right? They base all the results in this little table that we have here, which is like an explaining of the key issues that they used to have in the classroom and the strategy that was developed in order to solve it. So for example, we have as a key issue leading design, and as a strategy, design of programs based on what we know about ICT can support learning. Some other issues will be opportunities for reflection. And as a strategy, we have the design of activities that encourage participants to use ICT and reflect in their participation. So as a conclusion, we can say that several of these strategies can be applied to a variety of professional development projects in order to teachers best serve to the students' needs.
Additionally, like methodology, we choose article that is called Cooperative Learning Strategies using virtual environments for developing English oral production cooperative learning by the author Echeverria Carmita in the year 2021 in Ecuador. This article is essential for our research problem because show us many strategies used in virtual environments for the oral production of the English language in university students who are starting their first year of university. So, there isn't much difference in age range of our experience compared to our population that are students to 15 and 18 years old. Like problem, according to college students and those who are starting university life, English is now like the most difficult and tedious area, this said Lata and Ranjan 2016. In Colombia, it isn't a secret that the English subject is a tedious and the most difficult subject in the school or university. So the idea is investigate why the people have this perception and what is the way to change this thinking. Another problem in our research is that with the information and strategies recollect in this research, it is indefinite as the main disadvantage in the development or oral production that learners only speak when they are asked by their teachers and don't participate on their own. The students only participate when the teacher said that is the reason for change teaching strategies for our students develop his oral skill and we can inspire confidence for our students talk more English in our classes. The result is proposed analysis of the studies carried out in international and local areas concerning oral production in different age groups. Also, allows the teacher to execute each activity in an orderly and sequential manner for that they have a better experience of the teaching learning process that allows to improve the oral production.
Juliana, can you please help us with the conclusion? Juliana.
Finally, as a conclusion, it is important to take into account that there are several factors that influence the virtual learning and teaching of a foreign language, in this case, English. Therefore, the teacher plays an important role as a motivator of cooperative work. And finally, the correct use of the technology in this process. And that's all for our presentations. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks for your attention.